I'm Patty Ann Brown, and you are in the strategy room. After months of skirting the issue, Hillary Clinton is now offering her first outright apology for using a private email server during her time as Secretary of State. In an interview with ABC News, the Democratic presidential hopeful said it was a mistake and she takes responsibility for it. Here with reaction are political strategists Ellen Ratner and David Rehr. Thank you both for joining us.
Thank you.
So last week on NBC, Hillary would only say, "I'm sorry that this has been confusing to people." And even this Monday, she insisted she didn't need to apologize because what she did was allowed, in her words. But yesterday, she said it. It was a mistake. I'm sorry. I take responsibility. Ellen, what changed?
I think her campaign staff got to her, and also I think she's been having some fundraising problems because one thing the press has not reported on is the fact that she actually sent a letter to all of her donors apologizing as well. Either it was late last night or this morning, but it was definitely a letter to all of her donors. So she needs the money.
Yeah, that is correct, that she did send out this note reiterating the apology. David, the Republican National Committee says, quote, "The only thing Hillary Clinton regrets is that she got caught and is dropping in the polls, not the fact that her secret email server left classified information exposed to the Russians and Chinese. Her reckless attempt to skirt government transparency laws puts our national security at risk." David, what do you say to that?
Well, I think I'm glad that she, after months and months of months, has finally apologized. But I think it's not going to help her current situation. More people now don't trust her than previously before. Donors, Democratic donors, are nervous, and there's this growing cadre of people thinking about running for president on the Democratic side. I don't understand how she gets out of the future investigation with her staff now claiming the Fifth Amendment, which, whether you're guilty or not, makes you look guilty.
You know, she claims she just didn't give it that much thought. She says, quote, "We had so many problems around the world, I didn't really stop and think, what kind of email system will there be?" Well, columnist Michael Goodman calls that a whopper, saying, quote, "How did the server get in her home? Did it walk in, plug itself into the wall, and start humming with classified information?" He goes on to say she certainly thought about that server when she used private money to pay a State Department employee to maintain it. Ellen, are we really to believe she didn't think about it?
She may not have thought of the ramifications because obviously if she did, she wouldn't have done it. However, there is something that her group is not bringing up, and they actually should, which is how private are government servers, since obviously the hacking of all of this secret personnel information was done, we think, perhaps by China. So I'm not so sure the government servers are so secure either.
David, if she didn't think about it, doesn't that make her incompetent?
Well, I think she thought about it. Both the president and Mrs. Clinton are very calculating politicians. Everything in their world is staged and is set right. I think she's just looking for a way to get out from under this problem. She doesn't know how to get out of it. Ironically, her first job was sitting on the House Judiciary during the impeachment of Richard Nixon, so she should have learned you follow the law.
She's been avoiding the press for months. Ellen, what do you make of these two extensive sit-downs recently with major networks?
You know, I have actually sent word to as many people as I possibly can who have worked on her campaign, who worked at the White House, that what Secretary Clinton needs to do is to sit down with interviews, but also do some off the records, answering all the questions, or even not off the record, but at least not necessarily on camera, and talk to as many press people as she possibly can. And that's still my advice.
So, David, how do you think this email scandal has affected her candidacy? Does she still have a chance to win the Democratic nomination?
Well, I do, although I think it's going to be tougher. The general election is in doubt. Republicans no longer fear her cannonball candidacy, you know, the invincibility of Hillary Clinton. The investigation's going to drag on. We're going to find out more about these emails. And I think it's just a bad move for someone who's phenomenally smart and should have known better.
All right. Ellen Ratner, David Rehr, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
And you can check out foxnews.com for more on the 2016 presidential race. I'm Patty Ann Brown. Thanks for watching.